Hello dear Prep 2 students, welcome to the first session of e-learning. Here we are gonna study Unit 14, Lesson 1 and 2, talking about schools around the world. Are you ready? Yes, let's start. First of all, if I wanna ask you, why do we go to school? Yes, we go to school to study, to learn, yes. What stages do you think, what stages of education do you find in your country? For example, here in Egypt. Yes, stages. مراحل التعليم, stages of education. Think about it. Oh yes, we have nursery schools, primary schools, yes, very good, preparatory schools, secondary schools, and of course university. Okay, now what age should you join each stage? Of course, each stage has certain age to join. For example, nursery, you can a young child can join nursery from the age of 4 to 6. But is it necessary to go to nursery school, or he can choose not to go? Okay. طيب, as for primary stage, yes, it starts from 6 to 12. As for preparatory school, very good, starts from 12 to 15. And secondary school from 15, 18, and university from 18 to 21, I think. Yes. Now, do you think schools in Egypt is different from other countries? Is there the same or different? I'm talking about the system of education. هنا نظام التعليم, is it different from other countries or the same? Yes, this question is somehow critical. You have to think about it. Yes, there are different somehow in some points. You can see some differences here from other countries. In the number of learning hours, yes, there are different schoolwear. There are different schoolwear here, our uniform, the way they do their exams, or even the opening times and the number of semesters. Okay. Now we are going to read this paragraph. It compares three kinds of educational system or three kinds of schools around the world. Page 24, student's book. Read the passage carefully and then we're going to answer some questions. You have to read it silently, but of course علشان lecture هنا online, I'm going to read it myself. Are you ready? Let's start. All children in Egypt have to go to school from the age of 6 to 15. They can go to nursery school from the age of 4, but they don't have to go. At primary and preparatory school, all students have to wear a uniform. Paragraph number 2. Japanese students don't have a uniform at primary school, but they have to wear a uniform at secondary school. They have to clean the school building at lunchtime. Most students practice sports or music after school. Many students also have private lessons. Do we have private lessons in Egypt? Yes. So it's similar to Japanese school. They also have private lessons. But do we clean the schools here in Egypt? Do pupils clean their schools and their desks in Egypt? No, so it's a little different here in Egypt. Okay, shall we continue? Are you following? Many students also have private lessons. Although they don't have to go to these lessons, many students go because they want to do well in the exam. Paragraph number 3. In Brazil, students don't have to go to school for more than 5 hours a day. Notice here the number of hours here in Brazil. They study only for 5 hours. Schools have different opening times. Lessons can be in the morning, afternoon, or evening. Brazilian children start school when they are 6. I think it's the same. It's the same here in Egypt. Okay. Now let's start by answering exercise number 1, ask and answer. What do you think is the same or different about schools in Egypt, Japan, and Brazil? I think you have covered all these points here. Now let's move to exercise number 3. Complete the sentence with words from the article. Here we have a blue box that have some helping words or guiding words. You can read the sentence and fill in the spaces with the suitable words. Are you ready? Let's start. Number 1, all children go to primary and space school. Yes, very good. Nursery school. Number 2, many children in Egypt go to space school before they are 6. I'm sorry. Number 1, all children go to primary and preparatory school. Actually, number 2, many children in Egypt go to nursery school before they are 6. Who else before they are 6? So it's nursery. Number 3, our school. Yes, very good. Uniform is white shirt with black trouser or skirt. So uniform is a school wear you are wearing in school or at school during the school. Now let's move to exercise number 4. You have to read the sentence carefully and decide which is true or false. Number 1, all children in Egypt start school at the age of 4. Of course, it's false. They start school at the age of 6. Number 2, in Japan, students have to clean their classrooms before school. Do they clean their schools before or after school? In Japan, at lunchtime. They have to clean the school building at lunchtime, not before school. Yes, so it's false as well. Number 3, some students in Japan have lessons outside school. Do they have lessons outside school? Yes, sometimes they have private lessons, and they go to these private lessons because he want to do well in the exams. Number 4, there are 3 different school times for children in Brazil. 3 different school times. Yes, it's true. He mentioned here that there are 3 different school times. You can go to morning or afternoon or evening classes. Now let's turn to page 25. Here we have some grammar rules talking about obligation and lack of obligation. الضرورة وعدم الضرورة. Is it obligatory to do something? So here we use have to or has to for the singular pronoun if it's necessary to do. شيء ضروري أعمله. And we use don't have to and doesn't have to for singular pronoun if you want to say that it's not necessary to do this. Here in exercise number 1, you have to read this sentence and underline the examples of have to or don't have to. It's easy, you can do it yourself. بسيطة وسهلة جدا. You have to underline all types of have to and don't have to. In exercise number 2, you have to complete the sentence with the correct form of have or has to, don't have or doesn't have to. Number 1, you have to use a pen to write the exam. Don't use a pencil. Number 2, all students come to school on time. Yes, we use have to. Number 3, people drive on the right in Egypt. Yes, they have to. Number 4, Hassan learns his vocabulary before he already knows it. Because he already knows it. Yes, don't have to because he already knows it. Number 5, my aunt work at night sometimes because she's a nurse. Yes, she has to. She has to work at night because she is a nurse. That's the end of our session today. Thank you and see you next time, inshallah. Goodbye.